Over 200 people were accused of witchcraft. 20 of them lost their lives. I don't think this is, I mean, it's fitting for this episode, but I think it's out of shot. My hat's too big. No. Unless I stand all the way back here. All right, no. I mean, maybe. It's kind of cute. Welcome, everybody. Hey, bestie, how are you? Welcome back. I'm glad to have you here. It's been too long. As you can see, I've got a witch's hat on. It's actually quite fitting for this episode. And if you're like me and you love consuming everything paranormal or spooky or history, then you're in the right place. I love having you here. This hat, it's great. It's great. But I think it's going to be really distracting. Anyway, this episode we're going to be going through the history of the Salem Witch Trials and the hauntings. So if you're ready, bestie, get comfy and let's dive in together, shall we? I think I'm going to take this off though. It's going to be distracting. Oh my God, I've got hat hair. Ew. I'm going to just like fix myself up. She is. Okay. Right. So we are going all the way back to 1692 in the small town of Massachusetts became one of the sites of one of the darkest chapters in American history. Yes, it did. A place where fear ruled over all reason and neighbors turned on neighbors. Over 200 people were accused of witchcraft. 20 of them lost their lives. Life was tough. And people back then believed in strict religion, obedience, and the devil lurking behind every sin. The community was small, isolated, and deep in superstition. In January of that year, two girls, Betty Paris, 9 years old, and Abigail William, age 11, began having mysterious fits. They screamed, contorted, threw things, and claimed to see spirits. Crazy. I mean, if you were doing that now, it wouldn't be so suspicious, right? The local doctor couldn't explain it, so of course, he said it was witchcraft. I love my witches out there, by the way. Soon more girls join in. Ann Putnam, Mercy Lewis, and Mary Walcott, all saying they were being tormented by witches. And when the pressure was on to name names, they accused 3 women. Tituba, an enslaved woman from Barbados, Sarah Good, a poor beggar, and Sarah Osborne, a woman who didn't attend church often. Three easy targets, really. Tituba's confession was wild. She said the devil appeared to her in the form of a tall man and made her sign a book. She claimed there were more witches hiding in Salem. That's all it took. Within weeks, the town spiraled into paranoia. I mean, imagine living in a world where one of your neighbors had a grudge and then they could accuse you of witchcraft. You know, in everybody's eyes, they would see you as, you know, dancing with the devil. The trials. By spring, the panic was full blown. The governor of Massachusetts created a special court to try the accused witches. Over the next months, more than 19 were hung. One man, Giles Corey, was passed to death with heavy stones for refusing to plead guilty or innocent. Wow, that is crazy. His last words, more weight. Yeah. He was literally crushed to death and told them to bring it on. Ugh, gosh. I mean, an innocent man. Tragic. The trials were chaotic. The evidence used included skeptical sightings. Basically, people saying they saw ghosts doing witchcraft. Wow. If someone fainted or screamed in court, they could convict you. So you basically couldn't win either way. And all I had to do was faint and they'd be convicted. Wow. The hysteria spread beyond the Salem village. It reached neighboring towns like Dover and Ipswich. Even people who had spoken out against the trials were accused next. Of course they were. Of course. Silence them. I mean, that happens today. By the end of 1692, 20 were executed and several others died in jail. And just like that, the witch panic burned itself out. Okay, the aftermath. In 1693, the governor finally stepped in and shut it down. He declared the spectacle evidence of ghosts and visions couldn't be used in court anymore, finally. Do you know what, though? I think from some of the history that I read, his wife was actually accused, and then that's why he finally shut it down to end it, obviously to save his wife's life. But that's good. He stepped in finally and said that the ghosts and visions couldn't be used in court. Thank God. But the damage was already done. Entire families were destroyed. The name Salem was forever changed. Yes, it was. And we still talk about it today. So that was a little bit of the history, of the Salem Witch Trials. Today, Salem is one of the most popular Halloween destinations in the world. The town has embraced the eerie past, but also honors those who suffered. If you ever visit, here are a few spots that I recommend. This is where I would go. So, number 1. The Witch House. This is the home of Judge Jonathan Corwin, one of the magistrates from the trial. It is the only building still standing with direct ties to the event of 1692. Inside, it's filled with 17th century artifacts and reportedly a few restless spirits. Number 2 on my list is the Salem Witch Museum. It walks you through the history with life-size sets and dramatic lighting and storytelling to just really give you a feel of what it was like back then. It's spooky and educational. And if that's your vibe like mine, I like to learn everything historical and stay informed, then it's your vibe. Third on my list is the old Burial Point Cemetery. One of the oldest cemeteries in the US. Many of the trial figures are buried here, including Judge Hawthorne, known as the Hanging Judge. Visitors reported feeling watched, or some have been touched by unseen hands. Fourth on my list, the Salem Witch Trials Memorial, a quiet stone memorial dedicated to the 20 innocent lives that were executed. It's beautiful, eerie, but also it is heartbreaking. And you know what? If ghosts are real, they're definitely here. They're definitely here. All right. Visitors often report cold spots, phantom voices, and sudden bursts of emotions, sadness, dread, or anger near memorials or old houses. As you can imagine, yes, people would feel an overwhelming amount of emotions. That residual energy just doesn't disappear. The Witch House. So in the Witch House, staff have seen shadowy figures in period clothes. Wow. At the Hawthorne's Hotel, guests say they feel someone sitting on their bed at night. Room 325 is especially active. I'm going to remember that because when I go visit, that is where I'm staying. And at Proctor's Lodge, where the executions took place, locals hear footsteps, weeping, and the rustling of rope in the wind, even when the night is still. Ew. Yuck. Okay. But I mean, look, it's where people died, unfortunately. So there is definitely going to be energy there. It would have been traumatic, extremely traumatic for these innocent people to go through what they went through. You know, and you can't prove that you're not a witch back then. If you faint and you're accused, you're a witch. How do you disprove that? You can't. Some people don't believe that these spirits are malevolent. They echo. They're trapped in a place where fear silenced them forever, pretty much. Others think they want their story to keep being told, which is exactly what we're doing tonight. We continue to tell their story. We continue to tell the history. So it never happens again. So this Halloween, if you visit Salem, light a candle for those whose lives were lost. And remember, the ghosts of Salem aren't always here to scare you. Tell me, bestie, as we wrap this episode up, do you believe that Salem is haunted? Drop your ghost stories below in the comments. Tell me if you've had any experiences at Salem. I know there's some American followers out there. Please, I would love to hear all about it. Thank you, besties, for hanging out with me. I love that we get to hang. And if you have any stories you want to share with me, send me an email, follow me on all my social media, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We can hang out more. I love hanging out with you. Thanks again for all your support. I hope you like this episode into a little bit of the hauntings and the history of Salem. I love you so much and take care. Bye.